you can and you're running with kings. But how far could you go if you run with the wind? And the chances you take are what give you wings, and you can fly.
And we're back again with Kent Roberts. And the question that we're looking for insight on today is, Kent, what do you think is the most important thing that we can teach our children who are the leaders of tomorrow?
Well, we can say it simply by saying really a walk and talk the golden rule, treating people as you would like to be treated. That probably is a very simplistic answer, but I really do believe that we need to again talk about what do we mean by treating each other with dignity and respect. And I know that a lot of times children, because of just their size and their age and maybe their family or what have you, they aren't always treated with dignity and respect. They are to be seen but not heard, correct? And so the idea of trying to figure out how we can get those words across and make sure they understand. I mean, they can say treat people as they would like to be treated, but they may not really know what that really means. And so I think that we need to talk to kids about dignity and respect and what it means. The other thing I think is really important is so often young people are criticized and they need to be corrected, but that's part of growing up, correct? And so they need to be corrected. But how do we do that? And how do adults lead and serve as examples so kids will do the same, so they will treat each other? It's real easy to criticize. But once again, we've talked about before in the past about criticize the behavior or but don't criticize the person. And we really need to do that at a very early age because kids are great. Sometimes they don't always behave properly, but at the same time, they're still great kids. So how do we do that? How do we stay in the affirmative? How do we stay positive instead of sending all positive, find things that people do well and build off their strength. A strength-based idea with children and raising children from strength is much better than raising deficit children because they become deficit children. And I think that by celebrating and catching kids being civil and treating people with respect, really celebrate that, really pat them on the back, really do, go out of your way to make sure that you catch them being civil. I can't just say that over and over and over again. The other thing too is we need to make sure that at the same time, when it comes to the behavior when it's not right, that they need to be responsible for their actions, and then they know that it's back to them. So it's just not always, there are consequences when we are uncivil. There are consequences when we do things that are not right. And kids know what's right and wrong a lot of times, but a lot of times they never have to pay the consequences. Knowing when to step in and help your children succeed is important, but also knowing when to step back and let them fend for themselves is also important. Those are the greatest challenges that adults have in trying to raise young folks. And it's always easy to step in, or it's always easy to step back and let them flounder out there on themselves. Sometimes a child needs a champion, but sometimes they need to stand and face the music. So all these things are part about growing up are important, but civility and how we treat people is at the genesis of this. And this is what people, and this is what children learn. They don't really learn that what they did was bad. They learn from the words that we use to correct or punish or do whatever comes next. That's what they learn from adults. So I think it's important that we follow the golden rule the best we can, and really understand it better and talk to kids about these things.
Excellent. And I couldn't agree more. Some of the listeners might not know that the Civility Center offers some online courses in partnership with ICTC and our company, Civility Experts. And so at present, I believe in Arabic, French, Chinese, and English, there are some short children's courses on respect and character. Compassion, empathy, some golden rule courses, and so on. And a portion of each of those courses, some of them are free, but a portion of any of the courses that are pay for use, a portion of that goes back to the Civility Center to support our ongoing work under that organization. Kent, one of the things I wanted to ask you was sometimes there's some resistance from parents and teachers and caregivers. The concept that children should be seen and not heard, or that don't overindulge children, don't give them too much power and let them think they have an opinion on everything from what's for dinner to what time to go to bed to, what sport they want to play, what course they want to take, and so on. How would you express to parents and others how to balance that, teaching children by the golden rule so that they experience it, helping them understand by way of the example you set that there still needs to be respect for authority, that there's still responsibility, that there's still caregiving aspects without sort of overriding all of that old school tradition for parenting?
Well, some of it goes back to expanding upon the idea of knowing when to step in and when to step back. And so there's a fine line there, and it's not always the same, and it's not the same with every child within the family. To me, I've always said this: parenting is nothing more than your best guess. And but I also learned a long time ago that generally a mother's gut is pretty good. A mother understands her children really well. And but what mothers have to understand is there is a yin and a yang here. You can't always be that helicopter parent that steps in and fends for your kid. But I do believe that we said this before in business. If you want your employees to listen to you, then they got to feel like you're listening to them and that they are really seen. Children know. I'll tell you a quick story here, and hopefully we won't cut it out. But if you ask a child, "Are you pretty smart?" The kid says, "Yeah." And I'll say, "Do you think most adults know it?" And they'll say, "No." Well, tell me about, do any adults know? And they'll say, "Yeah, some do." Well, tell me about the adults that know. And what they'll say is, "I know when they see me. I know when they hear me." And how powerful is that? And then you dig a little deeper, and then you'll say, "Well, what about the parents or the adults that don't get it? They talk past me, they talk around me, they talk to the wall behind me." And then you follow up with another question, and they listen to the people who see them. And they'll go through that wall behind them for those people. The other people, they just get what they need to get done and get out. If it's a parent, they listen to what they need to listen to, they get what they need, and they move on. But those adults who see them and hear them, they'll do anything for them. And I think that that's really important for us to understand.
Oh gosh, it sure is. And I would suggest that that piece of advice there would be well taken by many leaders, supervisors, managers, because I suspect that employees as human beings, just grown up children, the idea that they would respond in the same way when they're valued and appreciated and feel that they're seen. I suspect that same thing impacts productivity. It impacts loyalty as adults. It impacts, how we make decisions, who we spend time with, and so on, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Great. Well, thank you so much for your insights, Kent. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next clip.
Reason why each of us comes to this earth, and your actions will always speak louder than words, and you'll never know what you're capable of until you try.